where the stones tell a tale. Bükk-region Geopark. This 42,000-hectare mountainous area in northern Hungary has been designated a protected national park. Due to its significant natural, cultural and landscape assets, 1/7 of the area has a special protected status. The precious natural sites of the Bükk region include the Bükk, Bükk, the northern and southern Bükk Mountains, the Bükk Plateau, the Tana Hills, and the Upponi Mountains, which are of exceptional geological value. Hungary's third geopark, the Bükk-region Geopark, was established in 2017 to promote and develop these regions. What kind of ancient forces shaped the current landscape, and how did humans further shape the region? Water plays a major role in the creation of geological wonders, along with the passage of thousands of years. Thanks to the karst limestone terrain shaped by the slightly acidic water, the Bükk Mountains are rich in karst features and formations. Evidence of such features is the so-called Nagy Plateau, consisting of white limestone, which took shape in the Triassic period. Some of the sinkholes that swept the waters into the deep still serve a similar function in the region. Once the sinkholes dry out, they are filled with clay sediment while their surface expands through dissolution, assuming a bowl-shaped cross-section. Over time, these become connected, forming twin uvalas or karst gorges. The Nagy Mező is the largest karst gorge in the country. The so-called Sajó meadow features a network of interconnected uvalas. Precipitation accumulated on the plateau seeps into the system of fissures underneath the surface, forming caves in the process. There are over 1,000 such caves in the Bükk Mountains. The Szent István Cave in Lilafüred is a site fully equipped to receive tourists. The cave is richly embellished with spectacular dissolved dripstone features and beautiful stalactites. The Anna Travertine Cave, located close by under the terraced garden of the Hotel Palota next to the Sinwa waterfall, is a feature unique in the world. It's well worth discovering the site. The lime, separated from the karst spring of the Sinwa stream nearly 200,000 years ago, coated the surrounding vegetation in a thin sheath of limestone, creating a freshwater limestone deposit or travertine. The halls of the cave were formed through the arching of the niches under the densely overgrown vegetation drooping over the waterfalls. The multitude of inactive spring caves with large gaping entrances lends a particular look to the mountains. To date, archaeological finds have been located in 39 of these caves. It is widely known that the Ishtalos Kör and Szeleta caves were home to local inhabitants for nearly 100,000 years. Finely crafted, bay-leaf-shaped flintstone choppers were uncovered at the eponymous archaeological site of the Szeleta culture. The Bala Cave, located above Repashuta, is a popular tourist destination. A large number of animal bones, flintstone tools, and pieces of charcoal, indicative of fire use, and the bones of a child who died 12,000 years ago were found here. Amongst other things, Neanderthal remains were found in the Szobolyok cave, located in the vicinity of Cserepfalu. Thousands of liters of water are released every minute from the periodic karst springs along the mountain ridge. Their activity is based on the rise and decline of karst water levels. After snowmelt or following torrential summer downpours, there is a spectacular surge of water from the artificial spout in the lower Vöröskör spring. The waters of the warm karst springs close to Eger seeped into the deeper system of fissures in the rock 10 to 12,000 years ago. The formation of the travertine is still observable along the waterfalls close to the springs. Visitors can admire the greatest array of spring limestone in the country in the Salaika Valley. A portion of the lime in the karst water surging over the uneven surfaces of the uniquely beautiful Fatjol waterfall becomes separated, creating series of new stairs and barriers over time. The Balvan North is a geological key section with great significance, even on a global level. Here, well-preserved sediment sequences dating back to the Permian and Triassic periods to over 250 million years ago reveal evidence of an extinction event called the Great Dying. At the end of the Permian period, 70% of land species and practically all marine life became extinct. The black limestone layers at the bottom of the section are rich in fossils. However, all signs of life are absent from the meter-thick clay marl layer above them. The fossils of the topmost layers of limestone indicate that life slowly returned to the seas in the early Triassic period. Bükk is the westernmost mountain located on the edge of the Bükk mountain range. Its peak has been truncated due to century-old limestone mining practices, and only its southwestern crag has remained intact. Crested indentations appear on the surface of the plateau's limestone. 3 springs are located at the foot of Bükk. Their waters were known for their healing properties even in pagan times, and following the adoption of Christianity. The Abbey of Belharumkut, consecrated in the honor of the Virgin Mary, was founded in 1232 by Cistercian monks. The area was deserted by the 16th century due to the Turkish invasion. The building was restored in the 18th century, yet its appearance, layout and proportions have preserved its former conditions. The dark, pillow-shaped rocks of Sardvarskör were formed over 160 million years ago when basalt flowed across the floor of the sea basin. The formations of the Var, Castle Hill of Sardvarskör, as well as those found in the gorge of the Eger stream, consist of lava flows and pillow lava that solidified under the sea. Medieval fortifications were often built over ancient settlements or earthworks. The Lotovar peak of Sajó and the sloping western hillside is ringed by a rampart. The remains of houses and fireplaces were discovered at the site of a Neolithic and Late Bronze Age settlement. During the 10th and 11th centuries, the Ursur clan built a vast earthwork castle on the upper plateau of the peak, followed by a smaller stone castle constructed next to its western edge in the following century. The people of bygone days carved niches into the sides of the cone-shaped stone towers found in Bükk, located in the southern foothills of the Bükk Mountains. Most of these carvings are found in the nature reserve of the Beehive Stones of Somoya. Whether the niches housed the urns of Celtic tribes, were sacrificial hollows tied to pagan rituals dating back to the time of the settling of the Carpathian Basin, or were possibly used by medieval beekeepers or for some other purpose remains unclear. For centuries, mankind has created cave dwellings and stone paddocks for livestock in the winter. The easily worked rock was formed by the greatest volcanic eruptions on the continent over the last 20 million years. To this day, the sight of herds being driven out to the pastures through rocky ridges, towers and gullies running through the tough surface remains a timeless spectacle. The Var Hill of Shirok consists of dacite tuff pumice. The layers of baked rock more resistant to erosion led to the creation of spectacular tuff towers. The steeples of the so-called Monk and Nun rocks rise 6 meters high above the surface of the ridge. The horizontally chiseled surface of Turokostal served religious purposes, where its tray-shaped indentations and blood gutters were used for pagan sacrificial rituals. The Nardstone of Bükk Mountains was lifted up by structural movements and was subsequently shaped by the surface erosion brought on by wind and precipitation. Cross-bedding seen on the stone was formed by the reorganization of fluvial sand from the currents of the shallow sea during the Miocene period. A fortification dating back to the late Bronze period was perched on top of this steep sandstone hill. The Bükk Mountains are home to some of the oldest rocks in the Geopark in the country, including 450-million-year-old sea sandstones dating back to the Ordovician geological period, and slightly younger dark grey siliceous stone, shale and shallow sea limestone. The light grey limestone walls towering over the Upponi Pass are 50 meters high and are home to 24 caves. The peak offers stunning views of the Lazbeds Reservoir, which provides the region's supply of drinking water. Running along fault lines, the Chernai stream created one of the most spectacular mountain passes in the country. The Damasha Gorge is located in the nearby Egeres Valley, where the stream cutting through marine and fluvial sediment eroded the 13-million-year-old volcanic andesite and formed several baked glazed rock variations. The massive volcanic blocks measuring tens of meters in height were dislodged by earthquakes, moving them towards the valley. Several jagged passageways and pseudo-caves were created amongst the fallen blocks. The unique features and countless geological wonders of this landscape led to the establishment of the Bükk-region Geopark, thanks to the efforts of the Bükk National Park Directorate, which now cooperates with over 100 local municipalities. The Geopark further expands the region's vast touristic appeal. It promotes and provides information on the region's geological and cultural heritage, which can be discovered independently or through guided tours. Those who travel through this unparalleled mountainous region, witnessing its history spanning millions of years, can truly understand the message of the rocks: permanence, change, progress, and the keeper's role.